And I would like to introduce you to Marcelo Dono. As Giuseppe mentioned at the beginning, PMP, Professional Media Presence, has a so-called FATA approach, from artist to artist approach. That's why we just wanted to also to involve one of the artists affiliated to our team to present their work. And we decided for Marcelo. Marcelo was born in Argentina and is now an Hamburg-based artist. I mean, they moved to Germany several years ago, and they established their career as a dancer and choreographer in Germany. They're interested in the aesthetics of the queer body and the possible hybridization with different media and technologies. That's why we would like to speak with Marcel about their approach to dance, to arts, and technology. And in particular, they started recently a trilogy, which attempts a merging of dance and performance with multimedia and a so-called post-digital vision of the human being. This trilogy was started in 2020 with a project called Grind Me. Then went on with another project, with another show called Algorithmic Bodies, and now Marcelo is approaching their final work of this trilogy with Metaxis, an still ongoing project. Therefore, I would like to ask as a first question to Marcelo how you are using AI and generative arts in your dance works, and how this process changed throughout this trilogy, or maybe just tell us how you are approaching to as a dancer, as a choreographer, to this parallel with these other worlds of technology. And also maybe if you can tell us what skills as a dancer, as a performer, you had to develop in order to be able to work within this this framework, this new very different from unembodied art, this kind of world. Also, if you have, Marcelo, if you have like videos or slides to show, just tell me and I can make you a co-host.
Yes, maybe that would be good. I will respond to this beautiful opening question with a few slides. And while you make me a host, I would like to first of all thank you, Giovanni and Giuseppe, for organizing this. Also to Annie and David, as well as Holga and Wolfgang for their beautiful presentations. And I hope to live up to this. And I would like to share a very, very simple, very, very simple PowerPoint that I did for another workshop where I had to explain my trajectory as a dancer and a choreographer. And as it already says the title, I have a choreographic approach to the hyperextended self. The hyperextended in relation to digital technologies that permeate our everydays in our life. And my experimentation with digital media started, or my interest already started in 2018 with a colleague where we were very much interested in the way that we relate to each other in the digital era, in a very fast-paced era, and how we are used as objects of consumption, like Eric Fromm in The Art of Loving beautifully explains. This first concept and application for art was denied. That's why in 2019, I applied again with another concept to create a piece that was for my first piece in this now trilogy of bodies in digital merging, as I call them, which was called Grind Me, where I focused on the body as a currency. And this new form of intimacy that the gay dating site or app Grindr proposed, where bodies were fragmented and the so-called naked selfie was very prevalent, and where the body was seen very fragmented, hypersexualized, and also where a male hegemonic body was prevalent. That's why I placed 4 bodies, 4 cameras on stage with me in the middle, and 2 projection screens at the edges where the audience could see me perform and see my analog body as well as my fragmented self. Moving on, in 2022, I still had the necessity to keep exploring the zeitgeist. So what is, what characterizes us in the digital era, and broadening my area of research from queer, hypersexualized bodies onto mainstream media and how our sense of self and perception is affected by it. As you can see, we are in the era of attention and the era of data. And here's a quote from Legacy Russell, who wrote a manifesto, Glitch Feminism, and explains that every 72 hours, we generate the same amount of information as we did from beginning of written history up to 2003. So to put into context how much information we generate on a daily basis, as well as the performativism of social media and how that affects our sense of self. In this production, I wanted to blur or to bring closer the bodies, the digital bodies, as well as the analog bodies. So I worked with cameras that captured us, and we played with augmented reality so we could overlay the information that our bodies were generating through movement and apply visuals upon them and create an act and response sort of play. This is it for that part. And as a last thing, I would love to share one experiment that I did in the process of algorithmic bodies. Oh, how can I do this?
Didn't help? Like,
full screen. Sorry.
no problem.
So to summarize my first introduction and explain also where my vision goes further, it's not only to blur the boundaries between the bodies, the digital body and the analog body, or the multiplicity of bodies that it's proposed in this era, but also to explore the limits of translation. And in this last body and this last video that I showed, it's very much exposed the limits of technology and you could see it through the glitch and through its almost and through its impossibility to move their mouth. What I did was I took a picture of one of the performers and I asked AI to attempt to vocalize a text that I pre-recorded. So yeah, what I find very interesting in my work is to expose the fragility of technology by appropriating them and misusing them to bring the concept of technology from a dystopic place and an overwhelming devil into something that is in our hands that we can re-signify.
Thank you, Marcelo. Can you maybe show us the video again? Because I think you were sharing the slideshow.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes.
Yeah. This is the Zoom.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, great.
Let me see. I am now sharing the video.
Yes. Yes, thank you.
Thank you for making me aware of it. It's
no problem.
It's the challenges of Zoom.
Giuseppe, do you want to?
Yeah, tell me.
Okay. Do you want to ask something to Marcelo?
Yeah.
Okay.
If Marcelo is ready, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's just adjusting something or?
No, he's ready.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, Marcelo. How are you?
Hi, Giuseppe.
Yeah, I see you really under the light of beautiful sunshine, which is very incredible in Germany, and huge Germany too. So, well, in your opinion, why the society now is so polarized about AI? Because when it comes to handling a huge amount of data and generate a summary report in seconds, AI is good, for everybody. But when it comes to artistic creativity, it seems to me that there's always this kind of a strong debate about it. So since you are using right now AI in a concrete way, what is your opinion about this? Why society is so polarized about the pro and cons? Is AI like a curse or a blessing? I mean,
thank you, Giuseppe, for this great question that I agree with in many ways, and that it boils down to technological literacy, which means that we are, as a general society, maybe not yet fully aware of the technologies that we are implementing. And this is not because of our own fault, but also because these technologies, these mainstream technologies and platforms are made for consumption, and they make us, in a way, addicted to them. So technology is a tool, and as McLuhan would say, Marshall McLuhan, who wrote The Global Village in the 60s, one of his famous quotes was, "The medium is the message." So we are being mediated by technology, which in turn shapes our thoughts. And this medium is also biased by the people who created. So for example, why is it problematic? If you see AI filters or AR filters, so TikTok filters or Instagram filters, it is proven that usually they make your skin whiter or your nose smaller. So they have racist bias in them. you usually see hypersexualized female bodies when you generate images. And actually I saw one that I was trying to find again, which I couldn't, unfortunately, but there was a disabled artist or mixed-abled artist who was using image-to-image generation, and the AI interpreted them as plants, usually, because they were in a wheelchair, so they didn't recognize them as a normative body, hence trying to interpret it in a strange way. As much as also in 2020, a Black artist was exposing that deep learning technologies were recognizing them as monkeys because of the color of their skin.
Yes, thank you.
I would like to ask you the last question, and then maybe open the floor to the participants. Maybe they have also something to ask you. As a suggestion to us, to your colleagues here present, what do you think is like the set of skills or the set of competence that we should kind of acquire, or at least be curious about in order to like not necessarily to be proficient with AI, but still to kind of have less prejudices or less bias against this kind of technologies, also based on your experience, if there is something that you think you had to study or to approach.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's a huge question, and as an artist, I work from a personal experience, from a biographical experience. I think bibliography always is good as a starting point. Like as I mentioned already, The Global Village was written by McLuhan, Marshall McLuhan, which was a media theorist from the 60s. Nicholas Carr wrote The Shallows, which is also a fairly new book on the impact of social media from a cognitive perspective and behavioral. I think a critical thinking, it's always good to have, not from a place of fear, but a place of curiosity, to be able to deal with digital technologies. What sets of skills? I think I just thought about it before this Zoom call, and I see it as you don't need to learn how to play tennis, but you need to know the rules of tennis if you want to engage with another language, medium, tool, sport. So for me, it helped a lot to understand how the AI or the specific tool that I'm looking within the broader spectrum of AI, for me, is GANs, generative adversarial networks, function for me to collaborate with a creative technologist in an efficient way. Maybe I could share very quickly a link to Deep AI for everybody to play with if they wish to do, which for that I need to find the chat. Here we go. Deep AI is a text-to-image generator, and you have different models, which you call models. Maybe I should do screen sharing and explain it very shortly. Now you can see my screen.
Yes.
I pre-did it. This is very simple. It's called I put hybrid bodies dancing and it generated this image. But I could, I don't know, do moon landing on cheese. I don't know. Okay. For example, I propose something so, there we go. I think I proposed something so absurd that the AI said, okay, let's put a moon, let's put some cheese and a text. Let's see, post digital bodies. I don't know. I think this is also quite abstract, so it will create something not so good or so interesting. Oh, because moon landing was there. But feel free to explore. Also here you can have different models which will generate different outputs. Down here you can change them. And I will share one last thing, which is Desco, another text-to-image generator, and also image-to-image generator, which you can explore with if you feel like. Stop sharing. The second one is a bit more complex because it allows you to play with accuracy and how much you want freedom for the AI or to stick with what you're saying.
Thanks a lot. The first one was deepai.org, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Is it like similar to DALL-E or Midjourney or?
Exactly.
Okay.
Deepai.org is super simple and very quick. The reason why I didn't show Desco is because it might take 30 seconds to a minute to generate the image. It can be text to image or it can be image to image generation. And there you can play a bit more. And for example, in this group, if someone feels curious and hasn't tried anything with generative art yet, might be a fun starting point.
Cool, thank you. I just want to share also another link. I think Marcelo, you once shared this link with me, so that's why I think it's fun. It's just an experiment on GANs. This person does not exist. It's a website where every time you refresh the page, it generates the picture of another person who actually does not exist. It's just AI generated, or yeah. And I muted myself. Sorry. Yeah, very interesting vision, Marcelo. I just ask the participants if you have questions to Marcelo. You can either make yourself visible and talk, or also post on the chat. Otherwise, if we need a couple of minutes to refresh our minds, I just wanted to ask you, Marcelo, how for instance, in this trilogy, how your use of technology changed, how also like drawing on your previous work, how did you evolve? Let's say your how you used and how you see generative art or machine learning technologies.
Thank you. Yes. And if at any point some questions should arise, please write it on the chat or unmute yourself. I would be happy to get some direct feedback where your mind is in relation to what we're saying, because I have the feeling that oftentimes one can say a lot, but it might be very abstract at some point. Taking as a starting point the website that Giovanni kindly shared, this person does not exist.com. This website is built on a data set of many people's faces to generate random images of people that do not exist. What I'm interested is to play with big amounts of data, because we are in the era of data. So, and not create realism as this website creates, but to generate imaginative futures where we are not replicated, but empowered. How to use technology in live performances? Who owns the copyright on the images generated with this platform? And this is a really good question. This platform was created by Philip Wang, and it's an artist. So you can also download the images and use them for your own projects if you wish. They have no copyright rights because there is no real person behind it, which is super interesting, because I read an article at Dazed, which is a beauty and technology magazine, where models are starting to take legal actions because their images are being not used directly, but AIs are being trained through images of models to create new advertisings. So there we can see also a gray zone on ethics and AI. How do I use the technology in live performances? In my first piece, it was the live stream, as we are doing right now on Zoom, to capture what is being seen on a smaller frame and to play with fragmentation. In the second piece, I use augmented reality cameras. Augmented reality is when the analog reality and digital visuals are being merged together. And in this third piece, I will create visuals that then we will interact in space through the use of a projector, of a beamer. So us bodies will be projection surfaces. Who owns the copyrights? How do you implement a multimedia approach in a live dance performance? As I mentioned before, it could be through a beamer. Also, in the first performance, I used 4 phones, which captured us through their cameras. I'm also working in this last piece through with the Co-Produktionslabor in Dortmund to prototype softwares that the people can use, and we can create engagement with their own devices. So yeah, for me, it's very important as I progress as an artist to reach people in the most direct way. And in this case, it's through the intimacy of their own devices.
Thank you, Marcelo. I guess we are reaching our time here. Unless we don't have other questions to Marcelo. Maybe
there's another one from Angela.
There's another one. Angela, you can also speak up, Angela.
Yeah, that would be nice.
How do you make a dance performance immersive with digital technology? Yeah, I mean, here's maybe the accent on immersive.
Yeah.
Immersive.
I mean, it's a question of what is immersive and the difference between interactive and immersive. From the top of my head, I see immersive as something that can be accessed and in my performances, I've worked always in a 360 environment, 360 degree, and in an accessible space. So in this way, it is immersive in the way that people can take their perception point. So where do they place themselves in space, or sitting or standing, or how they choose to. But it can be in many ways as well. For example, my second piece, I allowed the people to use the motion capturing cameras to see how this interaction works. I hope this is clear enough.
Yeah, it's very clear. Of course, it would be cool to see the performance live. So please send us invitations and.
Yeah, maybe I can do this right now. There is my website. Oh, I sent it as a direct message to Karen. Karen, I'm sorry, Karen. This was a very direct invitation.
Only to Karen.
To everybody there. There's my website, and there you can see who I am, what I'm up to, and also the full documentation of my last two pieces. And you can see my email address as well if you have further questions, interest, or interest to collaborate as well. I'm very interested in other points of view, and I think through collaboration we can reach much more.
That's right, and I hope you will have the chance to meet several of the artists here on this platform. I'm sure. I mean, I hope, and I'm sure. I need now to post again the link to the evaluation. Yes, Christina just did it. I was about to do it. So please just copy and paste this link into your browsers in order to evaluate the seminar. Thank you, Marcelo. It was really interesting. Thank you, everybody. Before we leave, the ones of you that would like we would like to make a screenshot. So it would be cool to have like many faces on the screens. So please feel free to show yourself for a while. Hi, Raffaella.
Speaking about our selfie thing, we are so into it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm not able to see everybody. I will try to. Sorry. So then, cheese.
Yeah, we made
it. Thank you. We made it.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks a lot. So I remind you the deadline for for your motivation letter or video, your motivation statement, the 8th of February. Just contact your national partner to ask for further information, and then send them your link, your email.
And also, sorry, Giovanni, the workshop program is already available on the website of the PMP project. So if anyone is curious about the activities that we're gonna have, they can check the website of the project.
Right. Yes. And enjoy your day. Enjoy your week. We hope to see you again soon. I will have to save the chat before we leave. How can I save the chat?